Hip-hop and the lowest common denominator. Why it's okay for radio to suck. Hip-hop is a musical genre that mixes variations of the AABB rhyming poetry style with musical accompaniment. The music is beats and rhymes, not beats or rhymes. The sound, like many others, developed with a heavy influence from the genres of rock and roll, soul, funk, pop, and jazz. Sound-wise, this lends its instrumentation, famous for repurposing snippets of other songs, to be appealing to a wide range of music lovers. The lyrics are typical of all other word art in that it uses parody, introspection, philosophy, satire, humor, sarcasm, and other concepts to get specific messages across. These messages are reflective of both the artist's life as well as the society that influences the artist. Unlike classical music, chamber music, and other similar genres, hip-hop presents itself to both the lowbrow and the highbrow music level. Traditionally, this did not affect the popularity of sophisticated concepts that sat alongside popular and simple concepts. I believe that this is largely due to the first decade of the genre of hip-hop. Because it had no apparent appeal to the general masses, according to mainstream media, the songs and the artists that got the most airplay were based mainly on popularity. May the best song and artist win. From the second decade of hip-hop music forward, it gained mass attention despite the attitudes of mainstream media. This resulted in a shift in the economics of music labels. In other words, after about 1988-1989, music labels were not afraid to financially back and profit off of this musical genre. Before this, the genre was considered quote-unquote underground, which is record label code for unpolished, unpopular, and unmarketable. Boy, were they wrong. This genre literally has something for everybody, and if you ask die-hard fans and artists, hip-hop doesn't really need to stay in the confines of any culture or social norms. It's like visual art. There's exhibit pieces and private collections, as well as sketches and concept drawings that you can buy. What you like is on you, not the art. Record labels, management groups, radio and TV stations and websites, etc., they're businesses. They're not cultural institutions. I repeat, they are not cultural institutions. They are businesses. And a business only has a responsibility to itself to survive by making money. Because of this, they try to make as much money as efficiently as possible. This has led to quote-unquote formulas for success. When it comes to music, most of these formulas are basically cater to who spends the most money on the genre, or reach for the lowest common denominator. Once hip-hop joined the ranks of the other genres of music that reached the mainstream charts, businesses such as record labels and management groups begin to enter into the fray in force. The general idea is, we have a success formula. We will plug you into our system and even loan you money in exchange for profit from your music. This isn't an odd or uncommon practice. Ask jazz, rock, even pop musicians. This is business. Each label has business and social contacts in most facets of the music industry. That actually should be obvious. They operate generally, like everybody else does, on value for value. The label provides the artists and songs for the radio and TV, and in turn the radio and TV stations get a reliable source for music that gains and keeps their viewership. So the label gets to advertise their product, attempting to gain profit, and the media outlet makes money by attracting viewership and getting advertisement contracts. People say mainstream hip-hop, i.e. hip-hop that often makes it to radio and TV, is destroying the rest of the genre as a whole. I think they feel this because what reaches their lowest common denominator, as well as what the big labels, management companies, etc., actually look for, is not necessarily or even usually of the highest quality available. In other words, that shit on the radio is consistently treated as. While I agree to an extent, I argue that because they're not cultural institutions, their choices are automatically suspect in the area of quality. They represent most sellable, nothing more or less. So when you tune into them, it's a gamble for some people because their favorite things aren't always in line with the majority of fans. However, there are hip hop cultural institutions that exist, and just like with limited time museum exhibits, they actually make the effort to present quality to you. I think that the best way to reconcile this is by continuing the tradition of mixtapes. The album comes out under a label and goes the mainstream route, attempting to get the attention of the most amount of listeners possible. The mixtape is where the artist seeks mainly to give high quality as well as niche market kinds of music. So basically, look, if you want to reach the lowest common denominator, reach the most amount of people, the fastest, then go the mainstream route. If you just want to put out just pure quality, know that that's not actually for a majority of people. You also have to, do the things that the majority of people like to get a majority of people to buy it and listen to it. So spend that energy and that time and that focus on mixtapes that you self-fund or you put out independently of the contract you may or may not have with a record label. There's no way to fix the quote-unquote mainstream. It's how artists get money from casual music fans. Like, we can still get and support quality as long as we expect it from non-major label / mainstream outlets. In other words, stop expecting someone to try to impress your hip-hop expert music fanatic ass. It's for the casual people, and they're different, not stupid or wrong. And this is from a Harlemite who rocks both sides of the microphone. Pause. So, calm the fuck down. If you want that quality shit, go out and hunt for it like they used to do back in the days and shit. Think of it like digging in the motherfucking crates. DamienFBlack.tumblr.com